Hello and welcome to the Claret and Blue podcast, our fan zone show for Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa's first game of 2026 and our first fan zone of the year. John, you and I caught up yesterday for a state of play heading into 2026, where we've been, where we're at, where we're heading, that kind of thing. So if you missed that, do go back and check it out. Today we'll be talking about Nottingham Forest and a few other bits and pieces from the mailbag as well. Now, John, how are you first of all? You well?
Yeah, I'm well. First day of the year. Not gonna lie, I wasted most of my morning, or put it this way, I got up at 11. I'm not.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie about it.
What I want to do is introduce a little bit of a gimmick, and this will not be something we do all the time, but it's that weird period between Christmas and New Year. Obviously, we're into the New Year now, but before people properly go back to work and we're all a bit all over the place, I actually forgot we were doing this until about half an hour ago. My sister bought me as a bit of a jokey present. I'm sure she won't be listening, but I actually really like it. She bought me this. An hourglass. Because I spotted it in a shop and I was like, oh, that's quite cool. It's ever so slightly claret and blue.
Is this to stop me waffling? It just gets on camera if that's the case.
It's 30 minutes. So I'm gonna put this open, and I want to finish the episode by the time the sand reaches from one end to the other. So I'm going to put it back here on display. The counter is on. The clock is on. Let's start quickly. Pick me something in the van zone, John. Quick, go.
Emery 2067.
Okay, Emery 2067, this is from Dan. I was sat here thinking about the 11-game winning run and how great we've been before Arsenal and how great Emery's been over that time. And it dawned on me, his contract runs out in 2027. Surely he's due an extension until 2067. A 40-year contract for Emery, which would take him to what, 90-something?
97.
97, oh, okay.
Yep.
Maybe a 30-year contract. His contract's more than 27, isn't it, I think?
So 27 was the initial one-year extension that we put in, which was part of his first contract, and then it was an agreement that we had at the time, if I remember rightly, because this was around April of the year which he signed that contract. I think Bayern Munich were looking for a new. I think it was Bayern Munich they were looking for a new manager. Man United were also sniffing around, and I think that was our opportunity to just put a stamp down and say no, Unai's staying here for a long time, but that'll be sorted once the season's finished. But for now, bang, another year, 2027, which back then felt like a long way away. And now it's 2029, his deal now. So, no worry there. Yeah, it still feels quite short, though. I'd still like to get him a new contract again. I'm sure people will be... into the 30s, that sounds like it's a bit further away.
Yeah, I'm sure people... 2029 is only 3 years away now. I'm sure people will be putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5 that, would he replace Enzo Maresca at Chelsea? And I'd be absolutely flabbergasted if that was the case. We can all move on from that with as little airtime as the sand grains fall behind me. Okay, right, fire me another topic, please, Jonathan. Jonathan? Are you a Jonathan, by the way?
Sorry, we've got I'm not. I'm John. Tom Ince, right? Not only is he playing football in 2026, he's scoring hat-tricks against Birmingham.
Is he? Who does he play for?
Watford.
Blues are 3-0 down to Watford.
You can't concede I'm sorry, you can't concede a hat-trick to Tom Ince in 2026.
On the rise again. I'm sure everyone is still thinks that.
We go again. Is the name
we go again is the next topic in the fan bag, the fan zone mailbag, the fan bag. It's New Year, everybody. Anyway, from Juan Pablo. Maybe I'm being too calm because I watched the game a few beers deep. Yeah, let's end that there. Probably it was that. But I'm happy with the Arsenal performance. Yes, we got battered, but we dominated the first half and just failed to put away our chances. We got villared. Yeah. Arsenal thumped us for the first 20 minutes of the second half and luck wasn't on our side. That happens. Roll on, Forest. We go again. I'm kind to agree with parts of that. It wasn't great, and you can't say you were happy with the performance and then yes, we got battered in the same sentence. Those two things don't really go next to each other.
Not usually.
But
I get it though.
It can happen. He's absolutely right. They're top of the league. It's away from home. We had 6-7 players missing. Yes, they had Rice missing and blah, blah, blah. But that can happen. But it is about looking forward to Forest. And this is what we said in the kind of state of play going into January. It gives you opportunity to bounce back.
Just to answer the Juan Pablo, I do think the first half, I thought we were brilliant in the first half. I really do. It changed because Onana come off and we got so many key players that are injured at the moment. So we've spoken about it, didn't we, in the last episode. So if you want to hear more about that, go to that episode, where we've essentially dedicated 40 minutes, well, not all of it, but most of it to that game. And you're right, Dan. Now it's time to move on from there and face a Forest team who are obviously bang out of form. One of the poorest sides in the league in the first half of the season, whether that changed or not, maybe they have to get a new manager for that to happen. I think Dyche has lost 7-2 in his last 10 2 games at Villa Park, I think. He didn't have a bad record when he was Burnley manager at Villa.
7-2?
At Villa Park, yeah. On aggregate. Do you know what I mean?
No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm probably being thick here.
As a manager,
in 2 games that Sean Dyche previously managed at Villa, the last one and the one before that, the scoreline in those 2 games together was 7-2. Okay, yeah. It made it sound like he lost 7-2 twice.
I probably did, yeah. I
was thinking, was he Liverpool manager? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, if that wasn't clear. So it's a big opportunity to win, and we need to win. This isn't going to be if you fail to beat Forest, we're not going to be giving Villa the same sort of luxury that we did after Arsenal and say, well, it doesn't matter, it's a bit of a free hit. Forest isn't a free hit if you're trying to get in the top 4 and top 5, would you say?
No, absolutely. Okay, next topic, please.
Biggest game of this season.
Biggest game of the season from Mike. Amazing run ended by the best team in the league. No shame or excuses there. But does this now make the Forest game the biggest game of the season? Simply because we need that positive reaction to the eventual end of our winning run. Yeah, stupid kind of cop-out answer here, but I feel like every upcoming game becomes the biggest game of the season. Yeah. There will be bigger games in isolation than the one that is upcoming that we've already got through. So like Man United at home was a pretty big game. Arsenal at home was a pretty big game. And was like, oh, if we win this, it shows that we're a sign of a team that can compete at the top. So that's probably, when the season is ended, you would pick out as a highlight as that was one of the biggest results of the season. But the game that is upcoming next, if we were to beat Forest, I think Palace away is then our biggest game of the season because that's a tricky away game. Like, do you know what I mean?
I understand. I would disagree that it's the. I agree that the next game is always the biggest game because that's the game that matters. But in what we determined as the biggest game of the season, I would probably say no, just simply because I view this more as I don't know quite explain. Like you've mentioned there, Donald, Palace would become the biggest game, but I just think this is a game where there's no leniency if you don't win. You need to win. Whereas the Palace game, there will be leniency if we don't win. Because if you draw at Palace, no one's going to be massively disappointed as long as you beat Forest in the first place. So is it the biggest game of the season so far? Yeah, I mean, again, the next one is always the biggest one. So it's a bit of a cop out, but I know what was the name of the person who's Mike. I know exactly what Mike's saying, but I do think there was previous matches that would maybe define the season more so than this one. I don't know, but then each 3 points is, that's the reward you get for winning a match. Is the same as winning at Arsenal, same as winning at Chelsea, same as winning at Liverpool, wherever, or at Burnley or Fulham. So. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's the biggest game. It doesn't have the feeling of like, oh wow, this is a big one.
Exactly.
It just has the feeling of this is an opportunity for us to get back to winning ways. I think we expect to do it, and if we don't, then the Palace game becomes much more important. Yeah, I don't think you can define it as just one single thing, but I know what Mike's trying to say. It's very important that we win.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next one, please.
Yep, let's go for Pinch Punch first of the month.
Pinch Punch first of the month. This video is going out on the second, so that doesn't really work.
Well, by the way, I do forget when I read these out that you make them. Fair play, because these are quite good.
Do you reckon? Sometimes they are sent in, but I have made all the ones today.
Okay.
Given Emi Martinez's recent frailty from corners, do you think there is something in teams targeting against him with swinging, looping corners in right on top of the keeper? And with that in mind, should he be told just to punch every corner rather than risking a catch? That is from Barry Bannon's extra small shorts. Fair enough. I don't know.
I think I'll just move on from that. We need to address it.
No, you can't just move on. Look at the time.
Does he? You know what? Yeah, we're just going to leave it out there. You can make your own minds up.
I don't know. It's difficult because I absolutely understand the point, and I said as much. I've seen him on more than one occasion. Are you okay, John?
Wearing extra small shorts.
I've seen Emi Martinez on more than one occasion be too bothered about scrapping with the other players than he is focusing on the ball, and that is a concern. Can you change everything of what you are just based off a couple of mistakes? So Emi Martinez is great at coming to claim balls. So to tell him to say, no, never do that again and always punch it, I think that's the wrong attitude as well.
My solution would be to put another man between Martinez and the player. We see it a lot, don't we? Whenever like Rodgers won and Reece James won it the other week, almost sandwiching the goalkeeper and the opposition player. Can we do more of that in these goals? I can't quite remember exactly, but the Fulham match, for example, I think Bogard lost Jimenez, and that's how the goal came. But Martinez was too involved with something else anyway. Like, part of it is Martinez being too involved with whatever's happening. But to remove him thinking about it, put another player there, and Martinez might be pushing our own player. But inadvertently, you're not getting knocked off balance or whatever, because you see the freeze frame of Gabriel when he goes up with Martinez. That looks like a foul, doesn't it? When he's got his elbow
on the freeze frame,
in his neck, and Martinez is dropping the ball. But yes, I'd have liked to see that goal being ruled out. But if Villa had scored it, I'd be fuming, because it's a bit of contact. Like, I remember the Diego Carlos against De Gregorio, whatever his name is, the Juventus keeper, and we were all unhappy about that one. But I would understand that in a way, because he didn't knock him off balance to get the ball. But I still think it should have been a goal. Anyway, the point being, I think if you're going to try and find a solution, add another Villa player to help Martinez move the opposition away, so he has more space to clip the ball.
Yeah. Okay. Next topic, please.
New year, old Buendia.
Oh, new year, old Buendia. Do you think Buendia's performances against Chelsea and Arsenal have undone the good favour he gained with supporters earlier in the season from Gabby's forehead? God. No, probably not. But I don't think he's been good enough over the last couple of games.
Yeah, and those things can be true. Like, I said at the start of the season, don't expect Buendia to be continuing this form. It's fantastic that he's showing it, but let's not sort of reinvent the wheel with the player. He is what he is. He's not going to be a player who like Rodgers, can, over the course of a whole campaign, come up with those moments. He did it against, in quite a few, Feyenoord, Tottenham, Arsenal. He won all 3 points. Like, he's done it. I probably better than most players have in the Premier League in terms of winning games. I don't know how many kind of match-winning contributions he's had, Buendia, but it must be up there. I think he's been fantastic this season. I don't expect him every match to be flying those sorts of performance levels every week. If he was, that's a different conversation, but I don't expect it from him. When he pops up with the moments, that's kind of the best situation for me that Buendia can give us. I think he was great against Man City, for example. Yeah. That was a strong performance. But aside from that, he's come up with some really important moments for us. And if we do anything this season, we will look back and think, oh, Buendia played his part as well. And hopefully it's only halfway through. If he does what he's done already in the first half, in the second half, he's more than made up for some of the years that he's had at Villa where he struggled for form or being injured. So I'm happy with Buendia. I don't expect much else from him, essentially. I don't expect him to be the best player on the park against Chelsea or against Arsenal. Emery knows that as well. That's why he was nearly going to leave the club. But he's battled well. He's battled back from where he was. And to be a squad player in this team means you've got to be a good player still. And Buendia has proven to be that. He's had more contribution than a lot of our sort of creative or attacking players this season.
Let's talk about Forest quickly in terms of picking an 11 and how we kind of view that game. These shows aren't really match previews, and this is why we changed the entire format. These are the topics that fans want to talk about on Thursday afternoon. So that's what we're talking about them. But on that game, we've said our piece. We think we should win. We think we will win, and we have to win. In terms of changes to the side, we're in that period where there's lots of games. You've got one eye on Crystal Palace, I'm sure, as well. What does that look like in terms of an 11? Like, does a Maatsen come back in? Midfield options? What would you go for?
Friday, we'll obviously ask Unai for some fitness updates. You've got a few players who obviously have been out recently. Ming's out for a bit longer. Obviously, Onana picked up a bit of a problem in the first half as well against Arsenal. If we just say all of those players are injured, just to kind of make it easy, do you want an 11?
Please.
So Cash comes back in, Kamara comes back in, which is two big boosts for us, really. I wouldn't drop Martinez. I think there's been a little bit of a discussion. Would you play Bizot instead of him? Not for me yet. Konsa, Lindelof. I would play Maatsen. Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rodgers. Watkins is your striker. And then you've got a conversation about, and I think it's probably the main conversation, do you play Buendia? Would you play Marlon in that sort of dovetail role, which we've seen him play sometimes in home matches and play it well? Or do you give Sancho another go? I think I'd quite like to see Marlon from the start, but then part of me also thinks, I know I often say this, what's the best solution for you in case in the 60th minute you need something else? It would be Marlon coming on for sure. It wouldn't be just Sancho and it wouldn't just be Buendia. Those players can definitely make an impact, but coupled with Marlon, that's something much more to think about. So I think I probably would start Buendia.
Dear, I thought you were going to then end up saying Sancho. I think I'd like to see Sancho again on the right side.
I'm only saying it because I think Sancho, with Marlon coming off the bench,
I see what you mean, yeah.
That's, I quite like the sound of that if we need it. and Buendia starting, this could be a game where Buendia does play very well, because he's not so consistent as the previous question asked that you can expect him to play well over the course of 5 or 6 games, kind of in and out of the team. But I think this is one that he probably could play well in if we get him in the right spaces. Forest clearly aren't a particularly good side at the moment, and for the players that they have, there must be some sort of organisational issues, because if they were set up well and were all doing their tasks correctly, there would not be 3 or 4 points away from 18th.
Yeah. Okay, you mentioned Onana, so I'm going to pull one out next. Best ability is availability. This is from Kareem El Hamadi's party coordinator. At what point do we see? I don't know. Just leave it, John. At what point? At what point do we seriously begin to question Onana's injury record? I mean, we already have. He's a very good player, but the best ability you can have is availability, and the amount of niggles he picks up is ridiculous. I worry that his constant breaking down will prevent him from reaching his potential ceiling, will ultimately cost us money in the long term. Now, obviously, you said there's a presser later today. I suspect Emery will say we'll try and... No, we won't train on Saturday because we play Saturday. So we will get an actual update. Whether he's out for a game, 2 games, 3 games, 6 games, whatever, it's annoying. I want him to be available all the time, so I actually think he's been very good this season, and you really notice him when he's not there. But I completely agree with Kareem El Hamadi's party coordinator that if he is going to keep having these breakdowns, then he's not going to reach his ceiling.
I don't know if this is the kind of the right time to hit Onana with that, because he has been consistent and he's played in a lot of games as well.
Yeah.
Quite quickly. So what is happening now, and I hope it's not a long one. How do I put it?
The injury he's got now could have happened to anybody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
if he played a couple of games and then missed a couple and played a couple and missed a couple, it'd be like, oh, this is really annoying. Yeah. He's just had a run of being in the team and playing every week, and he's missed. He's got an injury now.
Yeah,
Tielemans could have a run and then get an injury. Like, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and I'm also happy with Banana's progression as well. If
you said Banana then?
Huh?
Did you say Banana then?
Danny Jury quarter. What?
It sounded like, and it's probably just me because I've had a beer this afternoon. It sounded like you said, I'm happy with Banana's availability.
There's loads in the shops. Shops are shop, mate. What are you on about? Yeah, and I'm also happy with Banana's progression as well. Yeah, his development and progression, I've seen enough in the last few weeks that, okay, if he's injured, hopefully not for 2 games, whatever it may be, that's okay, because he can come back and continue that. It's as if he gets that month out, comes back a month out like he had last season. That was a problem. His first season was hampered by injuries, but now we've seen, and that was a big reason why he wasn't developing as quickly as we'd like. But towards the back end of the season, he had, having spent a long period, months under Unai Emery, he's progressed again, and now he's injured again. Hopefully not for long, and he can continue that. That's okay. I wouldn't want to sort of be like, oh yeah, I'll kind of paint this as a big negative. Where we know he's had some injuries previously, and it is still a concern. He's injured again. I don't think he's going to be a player that we can count on for the whole campaign. And I think we know that. It is what it is. We just have to manage it. What I would say, just quickly, is that I think he does play a bit too much sometimes, where I think we probably can take him out. However, he's such a unique profile of player that when we have got him, you feel like if he doesn't play, when we are missing something there that we really can't bring in, we'll have to do something differently, shall I say. Like if Bogard comes in for Onana, another good player, but also a very different one.
Yeah. Okay, next please.
Marco Bizot.
Do you think Marco Bizot will be number 1 next season from Joe?
No. I don't, Joe. To be honest, Joe, no.
No, not for me. I think maybe Martinez will not be number 1 either.
I think he's probably played more than what he'd expected to.
Agreed.
I would say that. He's played, I wouldn't say half of Villa's games, but I don't know, maybe 25%, something like that.
I think he's a good goalkeeper. And if you're somewhere between 17
he's almost
10th,
like
I think you probably could start in the league.
Yeah, this is going to sound stupid, but he's almost like a 1.5. He's not a number 2 because he's played quite a lot, but he is a number 2. He's not the number 1, but he's, number 1. Yeah, it's a bad point, but what I'm trying to get at.
A couple left, and then we'll give a score prediction. The timer is running out, John. We've probably got another 5 minutes left.
Okay, high stakes.
High stakes. This is from the big lad. If we are to be considered as a top team, why do we consistently throw in performances where we just do not show up when the stakes are high? Semi-finals, Sheffield United at home, etc. We have spoken about this a little bit, so I'm not entirely convinced why I've included it. But I suppose there is. It's like little bits of Arsenal about that was a a kind of high stakes game.
Well,
in some
I
degree.
think I would argue we can say ourselves, "Oh, we're a top team because we're playing well," but the wider public would just say Villa are having a great season.
Yeah,
I think to be considered a top team, you do have to win things. You do have to get over the line
yeah,
in difficult circumstances. So I get what the big lad's saying there, but to be the top team, you have to, show it in certain cases. I think we probably show it 90% of the time in terms of we've been so consistent under Unai. We've won 11 games in a row. We've done tremendously well with a very difficult budget. Everything else is kind of going against us in that respect. Win your trophy, and then the top team and the kind of respect you get from the outside, I think, will just grow from there. That can only be done through trophies for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit like the legend, icon, hero kind of thing. It's your definition of it. What is a top team? Is a top team teams that win things, or we're a top team in the Premier League?
Yeah, it's like, for example,
the teams that win more games than not.
Sort of example, like when Tottenham under Poch kept getting the Champions League, and they were, doing that, but never winning the league, never winning trophy until last season. That wasn't under Poch. So that Poch Tottenham team, that's what we are now, I think, in terms of they're doing so well. They've kind of broken up the kind of traditional, because then it was top four, right?
But I think that would be a top team, though.
Yeah, but I don't think everyone said, because I didn't anyway, I don't know anyone else, but I don't remember everyone saying, "Oh, Tottenham are a top team," and they're this, when you've still got other teams winning things. You've got, I guess your definition top team, like, they were a top team because they were fighting at the top. But when I say top team, I mean like one of the best. They win. They undisputed.
Real Madrid are a top team.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's like your world class thing. So we're kind of going around circles here. But that Tottenham side, that was a great team. Absolutely, they did really well. Villa, also a great team, did really well. It's an even better story because of everything as I've just explained. So I'm not comparing the two literally. But for Tottenham to have made the step up, they had to win things. They had to compete for league titles. They had to do more than they did to kind of push forward and become a kind of bigger and more respected club than what they are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Villa are on that journey as well, but we're further behind because we're not part of the big commercial six as such. Revenues come with that. If you increase your revenues and win trophies, Villa will be a much more respected club, not just nationally, but globally as well.
Yeah. Okay, we've got one left, but before we do that, we're going to do our score predictions for the Nottingham Forest game. We have tracked these over the last few weeks, but I haven't got an update for us in terms of a scoreboard. We did say in our January kind of preview that you said, was it 10 points from the 4 Premier League games?
To find out, watch the video.
No,
I need to say it really, don't I?
I think you did say that.
Not long.
The timer is running out. We're not going to finish the episode before that, but we're going to get very close to it. What's your score prediction then, John? Time is literally running away.
Okay. 2-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa. Well, time has run out, so that's the end of the episode. I'll see you later.
Thanks for watching.
No, I think we'll win. I think we'll score a couple of goals. So I'm going to go 3-0.
Well, that's more than a couple.
3-0, yeah, a couple plus one. I don't know, I just fancy us to bounce back a little bit. And it sounds stupid to even say that, bounce back. Lost one game, away top of the league. Like, bounce back from the literal, we lost the last game, but bounce back. We've just won 11 in a row, -1. Like, just keep going.
I think this would be our 11th home win in a row. So we have that record going for us.
Yeah, so just keep winning.
Was it 17 that we won in a row over the previous
like that,
we had? And it was knocked over by Newcastle. I think it was 16 or 17, I think. But yeah, that's our thing now. Continue to win home matches.
Start the year well. You're at home, 3rd of January. Team you can beat, go and do it. Yeah,
I can say this now because if you've come this far, then thanks for watching. But I don't think there's much to say about it. I think it is just win the match. It's one of those.
I anticipate the post-match to be a bit like that. If the game comes without event, as in like there isn't a controversy or a red card or a brilliant fan story to tell or whatever. If we just turn up and win the game, I think we'll just come on. But we won. We thought we'd won. Let's move on to Palace.
Yeah, and I feel
please do come and watch the post-match though. But that's the vibe I kind of hope I'm talking about. It was just without incident.
I wish I'd said this earlier now, but the way I'm boiling it down is the buffer is still there for me.
Yeah.
And this feels, because I felt terrible in that Burnley match a couple of years ago. Do you know we won 3-2? Louise hit the bar and it went in for the pen. That was after the Man United game. So after Man United, we could have made like a 12-point gap or something to them. In the end, it turned into like, I don't know what it was, 7 or 6 or 7, whatever. Those numbers aren't accurate, but there was a small gap. And then all of a sudden we won the Burnley game, got over the line, like we slugged it out. And that felt amazing. It was like, wow, like we've got that buffer again. Because I think United lost to, don't know if it was Fulham, but they didn't win. So that was really important for us that we had that buffer back. Now for us, I'm not looking at the table and thinking like, oh God, if we don't beat Forest, we're in trouble. Like we're really close. I will feel like that if we don't beat Forest though. And then the Palace game becomes a, if we don't win, it's going to be really tight again.
Yeah.
That's where we are. I mean, Liverpool, they play, but their match, and Chelsea are going to get a new manager. So we'll see what happens there. Things are changing a little bit beneath us, but whatever happens beneath us doesn't matter as long as we continue to do our job.
Obviously, there's some games happening on Thursday night that is before we record. So people will already know the results for those as they listen to this. But the weekend coming up, Arsenal are away to Bournemouth for the 5:30 kickoff, which isn't easy despite Bournemouth's form. And then on the Sunday, Man City play Chelsea, Tottenham, Sunderland, Newcastle Palace. You know, there's games where teams not close to us, but a little bit behind us.
Oh no, they're good games though.
They're good games, aren't they? Teams are going to be dropping points somewhere as long as we win, and then you go into the Palace game with a little bit less pressure, but still, again, that word opportunity for me to go and keep hammering away at that points gap. I'm going to ask you though, John, for a word or a phrase for the comment section. We're not live today, so you've got time to think about it.
A screwdriver.
Screwdriver. That's going to give me something else. That's going to look weird in the comments. I'll get you out of a hole here, John, because you've just spent about 5 minutes trying to think of a word. The sand timer's gone off again.
I did have a word, and you didn't let me use it.
I know. I just think it's weird. And now there's going to be confusion about what that was.
It wasn't actually weird.
All right. Let's just go with it. John's suggestion, because I assume there's one in front of him. Is there?
What did I say? Oh, screwdriver. It's not in front of me.
What did you say then?
Because I was using a screwdriver earlier.
Oh, I thought you'd said screwdriver because it was on the desk in front of you.
No.
What I was going to suggest instead was Barry Bannon's extra small shorts, because that's on my mind.
You use that. Okay, you got to use that
instead.
Do that.
Okay. If you stay to the end of this, Barry Bannon's extra small shorts in the comments, please. That won't look weird at all. Why not? John, right, thank you very much for joining me on this one. Myself and Matt Kendrick will be back here next for the post-match show. That'll be Saturday afternoon. Thank you very much for watching or listening to this episode of the Claret Blue podcast, and we'll see you Saturday afternoon. Bye, everyone.